Hi everyone, I'm JD from Millowbound Journals. Welcome back to my channel. This is a Junk Journal with Me episode working in my faith journal, and I try to do this every single Sunday, put up a video like this for you guys, just sharing my process where I open up my journaling Bible and highlight the particular passage that I'm focusing on and then do a page spread in my journal. And this time I did it a bit differently. I'm starting completely from scratch. Usually I have an idea of where I'm heading with the page, what I'm going to journal about, what ephemera pieces I'm going to use, but this one I didn't really have any idea yet. So I thought I'd just show and talk out my process in case that is helpful. So first of all, let me read the passage. This is the New Living Translation. In the beginning, the Word already existed. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. He existed in the beginning with God. God created everything through him, and nothing was created except through him. The Word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. So the verses I'm going to focus on for this particular page spread are 4 and 5. The Word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. So the first thing I'm doing is going through this Daphne's Diary Christmas edition, because I'm looking for anything to do with maybe stars or the sun or a lamp, anything to do with light in that regard. So I thought I might find a Christmas star or something, or Christmas lights. In the end, I didn't really find anything like that I wanted to use, but I did find a page that was about the benefits of daylight. So I thought that was kind of fitting. I cut out some of the suns and I cut out the word light, so that could be my title for this page, as this page spread is all about light. So you'll see me throughout this video going through different pieces of ephemera, or searching for different pieces of ephemera that I can use. I pull out another Daphne's Diary magazine just to see if there's anything else I might be able to find. I pull out my ephemera folder that I got from Teal and Tattered. Didn't use anything in there either, but what happened was just looking through these things helped my mind turn over ideas of things that I could use, and what I latched onto was using a Polaroid, one of my botanical Polaroids, because I thought of flowers and how flowers need light to grow, and flowers are alive, so flowers representing light and life in that regard. So just a little symbol there. So let me just chat to you about how this passage was speaking to me while you watch me go about my process. So basically, yeah, as in this particular process video, what I was doing was I decorated the page first, and then I did my journaling onto the page, and I was just kind of thinking out loud on the page. Sometimes I already know how a passage is speaking to me and I write that, but this time I just journaled my thoughts first, and then as I journaled, it spoke to me about what it was I was getting out of this page, what God was speaking to me about through this scripture. And so the first thing that I was journaling about was just how I saw how John was mirroring Genesis 1. So Genesis 1 begins, in the beginning there was God, and God created the heavens and the earth, and how the first thing that he spoke or did was create light, and how it was building towards he was creating life. And then John 1 mirrors this in that God created life and he was bringing light as well. And so it just reiterated for me how what God is doing all the time is just bringing light and life to the world, into the darkest places, into places of death. He is always constantly bringing light and life. So there's encouragement right there. For different people's situations, you may be going through darkness, a time of darkness or a time of death, whether metaphorical or literal, and it can feel quite, or a lot, overwhelming, but this passage reminds me and encourages me that no matter how dark it seems and no matter how much death is all around us, that it doesn't overpower or overcome the light. It's the light that overcomes the darkness. So it might not always feel that way, but we can hold on to this truth. And for me, that just gives me comfort, something to hold on to, something to give me hope, something to focus on in those times where darkness and death seems overwhelming. And then I was just writing about how, for me, what it was specifically speaking to me about at this time is the importance of light and life in a person's life. The way that it's important in a flower to see it grow and bloom and blossom and bring its beauty to the world for people to enjoy. That the same for us. We need light and life in our lives. It's very, very important for us. And so to not take it for granted and to not diminish it, to not dismiss it. I think sometimes we can dismiss our own joy and our own light and life. I'm speaking metaphorically here. We can dismiss being who we are and being happy in our own skin and our own joy and the things that make us smile and that kind of thing. So I was just thinking about how it's so important to do the things that give you light and life in those dark times. So in those dark times, maybe seek out things that give you light and life. And that's what I've been learning as well around this time or this season, to not feel guilty about seeking out those things or indulgent or whatever, but to know how important and life and light-giving it is. These are things to hold on to when it's all dark around you. If the only thing that's going to keep you holding on is finding things to give light and life in your life, then go out and seek those things with everything you've got. And once you find them, hold on to them, cling to them. And what it showed me as well, how this passage really spoke to me in this session right now, is these are good things, not things to feel guilty about, but things that we can know are good. The light and the life that God gives is good in the world. And therefore anything that gives us light and life is a good thing and is a gift from God to be valued, to be appreciated, to be grateful for. And so, yeah, it just helped me to switch my mindset, do a 180 in my perspective, because I don't know if you're anything like me, you can feel really guilty when you ever do anything for yourself. And you can feel guilty when you do something that makes you happy. You can feel guilty for doing something that you love, but this kind of switched it around for me. And I think, yeah, God just delights when we delight, and God gets so much joy when he sees us smile, as any parent would when they see their child delight in a gift that the parent gives them, or when any friend delights in giving their friend a gift. And it just lights them up. You can see it. You can see them light up, and you can see that life has been given to them. An encouraging word, a gift, whatever it is, can give so much life and light to someone's life. And it could be just the thing that they need. So these things that give us life and light in our own lives, we can go seek them out because they are good things that are giving us light and life. And yeah, I don't know if that's encouraging to anyone. I hope it is. But yeah, that little insight, these are good things. These are gifts from God. So go seek them out. And then so to apply this practically and to give this a what it can apply to in my real life, I just wrote a list. Light and life. What is light and life for me at this time? And of course, everyone's list will be different, and at different seasons in our life we'll focus on different things. So of course, God and family and friends and love and kindness are all light and life for me. But in this particular season, the things that I'm mostly seeing that I really need in my life to give me light and life are things of joy, things of delight, beauty, creativity, learning something new makes me come alive. Learning something new makes me feel like a bolt of electricity has gone through me, and it just thrills me. Inspiration, when I get inspired, it also feels like a bolt of electricity going through me. And so don't discount these simple little things, just learning a new thing, being inspired by something, appreciating something beautiful. These things are a bolt of electricity that can give us life in a time where darkness and death is around us. So look for those things, value these things, and hold on to them. And so another last thought that I thought I'd leave you with is just this little quote that I was thinking of, that I came up with, but I'm sure has already been a quote by someone else. But when dark is all around you, you be the light. I love that. I love that, God created us and everything he creates is good, and we are good. We can be a gift to the world, and he uses us to bring goodness into the world, which is just amazing. And he uses us to bring light and life into the world and to bring it into each other's lives. So yes, we can bring light and life into each other's lives. When someone else is going through a time of darkness and death, we can be a person of light and life in their life, to add that into their life, whether it's through just listening to them, giving them a word of encouragement, giving them a gift, whatever it is. So we can be that agent of light and life in someone else's life, or in just a world of darkness and death. We can be a light and bring life into that situation. Here I'm just pulling out my journal. I finished my journaling in my faith journal, and now what I want to do is just document that key insight that I learned about the value of doing things that give light and life into your life, that they are good things, that they are gifts from God, and that especially in the dark times, go out and seek those things. So they are just so important to keep you going when all is dark around you. And so I highlight it in green and then just do my annotation, and then I date it as well so I can keep track of my journey, and that is my page spread. So I know this video is ending and it will go to black screen, but again, I'm on a roll and I just want to continue this thought and hope that it is uplifting and encouraging. So basically, I want to just focus more on how I can practically live this thing that I've learned from this scripture at this moment of my life, and how I can apply it into my everyday life. For example, the learning one. Learning really does bring me alive. I love learning. I want to be a lifelong learner. If I could be paid to study, I would. I'm going to continue studying courses. Even if I just audit courses, I will gladly do that. And so, for example, this year I am auditing my very first class, Creative Nonfiction, and I'm also taking a class through Psychology in Seattle, the podcast that I'm a patron of. They've got an attachment class that they just released. So I'm so excited. I've purchased my books for that class, and I'm going to do all the assignments for it, and I'm just so keen to start reading the books, the readings, and get into that. And for me, it's not going to be the thing that gives light and life to everyone, but to me it does. To me, it makes me want to get out of bed in the morning, because I'm just like, oh, what can I learn today? What will I read today? It just makes me so excited. And so that's just one example that I can share in my life. And I hope that by me telling that story and leading by example, sharing my story, that maybe you can see yourself in that story. Maybe not necessarily with learning, but find what it is for you that makes you feel that way, that makes you feel like, yes, I can't wait to get out of bed so I can do that thing or see that thing. Whatever it is, it could be making a journal, it could be working in your journal, journaling, it could be reading a book, a novel, it could be, I don't know, cooking, spending time with loved ones, who knows. But I'll give another example for me, which is a bit of a crazy example, but yeah, this year I've taken up roller skating. Never thought I would. It was a little bit of a secret dream that I could do it, but didn't think it was realistic. But because this year I'm learning all about the importance of doing things that give you joy and that step you out of your comfort zone, and now fitting with this scripture that give you light and life, how important it is, I've taken up roller skating as something that I find joy in. I always loved roller skating as a kid at the rink. It always made me feel happy and free, like I was flying. And it also is another way for me to learn, because I'm learning a new skill. I'm learning how to balance on them. I'm learning how to skate forward, backwards, do turns and everything. And it's just really good for my brain. It's giving life to my brain as I learn a new skill and challenge myself. And it's just giving me delight because it's making me happy. Skating, I still feel free when I skate on skates. It feels like you're flying and feels like you're dancing. And so, yeah, I hope that this is sparking something for you to appreciate those things that give you light in life. And if you don't know what it gives you light in life, to give yourself permission to go out and find it, to try different things and see what makes you come alive, and what makes you smile, and what makes you inspired, and what makes you feel that rush of electricity just go through your body, and that makes you jump out of your skin with excitement. Go find those things, and once you find them, do them. Focus on them, do them as much as you want, especially in the dark times, especially in those dark times, because those things are going to help you. They'll bring you light and life in those dark times. And so they are so valuable. I'm so grateful for them. I thank God for them. I thank God for these good things in my life that He has provided for me. A bit of light in life. It can come in all forms. It doesn't necessarily have to look spiritual. It can look like a pair of roller skates, and we can see God in a pair of roller skates. So where do you see God in the good things that He has surrounded you with? Maybe leave a note in the comments of the things that give you light in life. I would love to read that. And if this video was encouraging in any way or uplifting, let me know as well. That's what I've decided now. I've gotten a bit of clarity around this. My channel, I hope it is an uplifting, encouraging channel. So thank you so much for listening and watching, and yeah, more light and life in your life. That's what I hope and pray for all of us out there. Thank you. I'll see you next video. Bye guys.